this morning. So, we're going to start with normal setup. Feet hip width apart, feet like the number 11, so feet parallel, knees nice and soft, and we're just going to rock that weight forwards, just reminding ourselves of that core engagement and then coming back over the heels. So just a 30% engagement going on in the core there, forwards and backwards. And then we're going to come back to centre, so weight's nice and evenly distributed throughout the feet, finding neutral with the pelvis, so a few little tailbone tucks, so squeezing that tailbone underneath. Close that, otherwise I'll bang my head on that later. Squeeze and roll forwards. And then midpoint, so tailbone slightly tucked between the legs, drawing up through that pelvic floor as well. And then crown of the head towards the ceiling, bringing the shoulders up, down and back. So nice big shoulder rolls. This is a good point to find that Pilates breath. So inhale as we come up and exhale as we slide those shoulder blades down. Elbows nice and soft. There we go. And then we're going to slide those shoulder blades down and back. We're going to float the arms up towards the ceiling, elbows nice and soft there. Take a nice inhale breath, we're going to lean back, keeping that core switched on, just opening at the front of the body, and then exhale, bringing everything back to centre. Let's go again, so inhale, breath coming back. Exhale as we draw through the core back to centre. We're then just going to side bend, so keeping the elbows nice and soft, we're just going to lift up through one rib. So lifting that rib up towards the ceiling, feel that nice stretch into the side of the body, and then bring it back to centre again. Coming back up and over, so lift up through that rib, really increase the distance between rib and hip, and then back to centre. Let's do one more on each side. Warming up through the spine. Nice. And then coming back to centre. We're going to bring the arms down and cross them over the body. So hand to opposite shoulder and just work some gentle rotation. So exhale going through. Inhale coming back to centre. Keeping the hips facing forward. So just rotating gently through the spine. Let's do one more to each side. And then bring it back to centre. Arms down by the side, shoulder blades down and back. Inhale, breath. We're going to take it into our roll down. So exhale, chin comes towards the chest. We're sliding the hands down the thigh. Relaxing the arms. Using that C curve, keeping the knees nice and soft. We're going down as far as the hamstrings will allow us. And then we're just going to flop at the bottom, relaxing through the neck. So let's help switch that neck off. A few little nods, yes. And shake the head, no. Keeping those knees nice and soft. Take an inhale breath. Exhale again. We're going to draw it through the core. Tummy button towards the spine. Lifting up through the pelvic floor as we come back up. And come back out. And then when we reach the top, nice gentle shoulder roll, slide those shoulder blades down and back. Then we're going to work a little bit of leg strength with some squats. So we're just going to start with some nice gentle squats. So feet hip width apart, weight over the heels. We're just going to bring the arms forward as we come down to a nice soft squat. So coming down, inhale it down, exhale, driving up through the heels out of that squat. Let's keep that going. So inhaling down. See if we can go a little bit deeper each time. Exhale, coming back up. Let's keep going. Warming up through the legs. Working a bit of strength into the legs. That's it. Let's go for 4 more. Lovely, nice and deep with that squat. Weight over the heels, pushing that bottom back almost like we're going to sit down on the toilet, warming up through the thighs. Last one, exhale, inhaling down rather, and exhale, we're going to come back up. We're now going to work a little curtsy squat. So we're going to reach one foot back and down and weight over that front foot, coming back up and then back to normal squat. So square, feet square, and then into our curtsy. So reaching back with the foot, weight over that front heel, and then back to normal squat. Just start to feel that front leg heating up a little bit. Let's go for 4 more. I like to put a bit of legs into this one. Last 3. And 2. Weight over that front leg. Lovely. And last one. We're going to stay back in curtsy. We're going to transfer the weight forward, so the weight's fully onto that front leg, and then we're going to bring the leg back and over. So you should feel nice and spicy through that front leg. Let's go for 2 more. 1 and 2. We're going to come back to squat. We're going to hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, driving up through the heel. We're going to do the same on the other side. So inhaling down, exhale up. We're going to go into that curtsy. So other side this time, reach that leg back and then forwards, back into our squat. So just a little curtsy squat, normal squat. Let's go for 4 more. 1. Elbows nice and soft. Try not to lean forward. Keep that chest nice and proud. Last 2. And last one. We're going to stay in curtsy. We're going to transfer that weight forward and then bring the leg out and back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center, back into squat. Let's hold it for 4, 3, weight over those heels, 2, and 1. Drive up through the heel, coming back out of that squat. Well done. Give the legs a little bit of a shake off there. What we're doing next. We'll come to the end of the mat. We'll make our way down to the floor. So let's tabletop, feet hip width apart. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling, tailbone tucked under, core switched on. Inhale, breath, exhale, we're going to fold. So pushing weight back over the heels here. Nice and long through the spine, nice and long through the arms. Frame the face with the arms. We're going to hold 3, 2, and 1. Come down into flop. Knees nice and soft. And walking out into, we're going to come down onto the knees actually. So walking out 3 or 4 steps with the hands. Bringing the knees down to the floor. And then we're just going to work the corset muscles, the transverse muscles. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take an inhale breath as we exhale. We're scooping that tummy button up towards the spine. And then release. And then scoop, exhale as we scoop up. Inhale, release down. So that's level 1. Can you see me? Move my camera. So scooping up and release. Scooping up and release. Level 2, turning the toes underneath. We're going to come up, exhale it up. Little knee hover. Inhale, release back down again. So exhale it up. Inhale it down. Level 3, we're going to come up. So there's a little bit of daylight between the knee and the mat. We're going to hold. We're going to hold it for 4 more breaths. So keep it at your level. Inhaling. Exhale. Nice deep breaths. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Last 2. And last one. Bring the knees down to the floor. Bring the knees out to the side and just sit back into the heels. Have a little step forward with the hands and just lower that upper body down into the mat. Really lengthen out through the spine there. And then we're going to come down into side lying, into one nice long line. So we're going to work obliques first and legs. So coming down to the side, Bringing the head onto the arm or the hand. Shuffle up so you can see me. So we're going to keep this top arm nice and soft. It's there for a little bit of support. So the hips are stacked one on top of the other. Scoop up through the waist. So there's a piece of Lego underneath that waist. We don't want to let that Lego fall. We're going to keep the heels together. Inhale, breath. As we exhale, we're going to lift and lengthen. So I almost want you to imagine trying to lengthen that underneath leg longer than the top leg. So really reach with that underneath leg. Exhale it up. Inhale it down. Just keep that going. Keeping this arm in front, nice and hand on the floor, nice and light. So exhale. Think more length and lift as well on this one. Exhale it up, keeping those heels squeezed together. Let's go for 4 more. 1, so you should be feeling this in the side of the waist. 2, 3, and on this next one we're going to stay up. So exhale, lift, really reach with that bottom leg. We're going to hold it here and raise the top leg. That's it. We're going for 8 leg lifts. 1, reaching with those legs. 2, really engaging through the legs as well. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bring those heels together. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and release back down to the mat. Well done. Bringing the head onto the hands now. We're going to work clam. So feet come tucked in underneath the bottom. Hips are stacked again. Waist lifted up from the floor. I like to put my hand on the top hip just to make sure there's no movement from the hip. So keeping again the heels squeezed together, we're just going to open up the hip as high as you can, so squeezing from the side of the bottom. If you tend to feel this more in the hip, just bring that top hip slightly over the bottom hip, just to isolate that glute a little bit more. But if you're feeling it in the glute, you're working the right muscle. Just keep it going. Squeeze, so externally rotating the leg there. Inhale, closing it down. Last 2. And last 1. Squeeze that hip open and inhale, close. We're going to elevate the clam now, so just bringing those feet up from the floor. Again, keeping those hips as still as we can, really secure through the hips, engage through the core. Keep that waist slightly lifted up from the floor so you can post a letter underneath the waist. Making sure we're not wobbling around on those hips. You should start to feel a bit of heat inside of the bottom now. Let's go for 4 more. Exhale as we lift, inhale as we lower. 3, that's good. 2, and last 1, lift. We're going to bring the feet back down, staying in clam, and then we're going to knee tap, toe tap. So we're going to internally rotate the leg, tap, and then externally rotate, tap. Again, keeping those hips nice and still. That's it, perfect. Let's go for 4 more toe taps. 1, 2, 3. Doing a bit of a glute medley with you today. 4. Squeeze those feet together, bring the knees together, and then we're going to bring the knees a little bit further up the mat so they're level with the hips. So we've got tabletop legs out in front. Again, engage through the core. We're going to deadlift this top leg. So exhale as we lift and inhale as we lower. Really isolating that glute med there. You're not going to thank me for this one tomorrow. Keep it going. Last 4. 3. Keeping the foot level with the knee. So we're leading with the knee. Don't let that foot drop. And last one, we're going to hold and circle. We're going for 8 little circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and opposite direction. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ouch, 1, and rest. Well done. Give that bottom a really good rub, pat, whatever you need to do, punch. What do we have next? Oh, right, yeah. So we're going to come up onto the elbow now. We're going to bend through this top knee, popping the foot down onto the floor, lifting up through the shoulder, so nice and strong through the shoulder. We've got a nice triangle between the waist and the mat. We're going to lengthen this underneath leg out and flex the foot, working inner thighs. Inhale breath. As we exhale, we lift and lower. Lift and lower. Perfect. Nice one. Keep it going. Flexing that foot. Just feel that in the inside of the leg. Let's go for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Stay lifted. We're going to pulse it for 8, 7, 6. Keep that elbow, shoulder down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. Well done. We're then going to come into mermaid stretch. So we're going to bring the knees down to the side. If you can, nice 90-degree angles in the knees. It's fine if you can't, if your hips won't allow, you can just come into a nice little fold to the side. So we're going to float the arms up. Let me just move my camera again. There we go. So floating the arms up, we're going to lean down towards the feet first. So coming down towards the feet, feeling that nice stretch down the side of the body. And then we're going to come back up and over. We're going to bring the hand down towards the floor and come down into a nice mermaid stretch. And then come back up and over. That's it, all like mermaids. So we're going to work the obliques a little bit here now. So nice little stretch as we come down towards the feet. And then we're going to reach as far away from us as we can. And basically we're going to try and lead the hand to leave the floor as soon as possible. So the obliques picking us up and bringing us over. Let's go for 4 more of those. So hand touches the floor, remove it as quickly as we can, allow the obliques to do the work. Last 2. Perfect. Leave the floor, perfect, nice. And last one. And leave, push us over, control it over, and then back to center. Next exercise, we're going to go some oblique twists from the elbow. So, level 1, hips stay on the floor. We're going to bring that elbow underneath the shoulder. Again, that nice triangle between the waist and the mat. Bringing the hand to the outside of the forehead. So we're saluting. Inhale breath. As we exhale, we're going to rotate in towards the mat. Keeping that core switched on, and then we're going to open up the chest. So looking up towards the ceiling. Working that oblique chain. Exhale as we close. Inhale as we open. If you want to spice that up a little bit, we can go into full side plank. So lifting up through the hips and doing the same thing again. Exhale it through. Inhale as we open. So let's go for 4 more. Keep those hips nice and high if we're into that plank. Last 2. And last 1. And inhale, open. If we're up in full side plank, gently come back down onto the hip. Fold those knees into the feet into the side, grabbing hold of the feet, take it back over into our mermaid, lengthen out through those obliques. And then we're going to come back onto all fours again. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Level 1, we're going to walk the feet out. So lengthen and then out into full plank. Bring those knees back in and knees back in. So we're walking out, keeping those hips level with the body. Just walking the feet out, one at a time. Reach. Imagine we're balancing a tray of drinks on the back. I'm going to make you all do that one week. Full tray of champagne. Keep it going. And then we're going to do one more. And then back. We're going to walk the knees slightly back, keeping that core engaged and work some rocks. So bringing the hands, at the moment the shoulders are over the wrists. We're going to come forwards, bringing the shoulders a bit over the hands and then exhale as we push back. So just coming forwards and then pushing back. That's level 1. Level 2, full plank, same thing again. So forwards, leaning in forwards and then pushing the weight back over the heels. So just rocking forwards and backwards. Lovely, Mum. Keep it going. Lovely, Elaine. Let's go for 4 more. 1, 2. Inhale, 3. Last one. Inhale forwards, exhale it back, well done. If you're not down on the knees, come down onto the knees. Sit back into the heels, take it into child's pose, have a couple of deep breaths, nice little breather. And then also have a little circle of those wrists. We're now going to work glute max, so big muscle in the bottom. So we're coming back onto all fours, bringing the hands together, elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulders down and back. We're going to step, so the knees are underneath the hip at the moment, we're going to step that right leg away, foot to the floor. You can see me, move my mat a little bit. And then we're going to take an inhale breath, so hips are level. As we exhale, we're reaching with the heels, so flex through the foot a little bit there, squeeze from that right bottom. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, squeeze. Keeping that leg as straight as we can, flexing through the foot. If you're struggling with kneeling here, we can come down to our fronts and just do that leg raise, lying down on our tummies. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale it up. Really squeezing from that right glute. Keeping those hips level. And then we're going to hold it up. We're going to rainbow. So we're going to bring the leg across the body and then back up and over. Keeping those hips nice and still. So actually working that quad in the left leg as well. Stabilizing through that left quad. Keeping that core switched on. Perfect. Keeping that leg as straight as we can. Let's go for 3 more. Told you it was a bit of a spicy bum one today. 2. And the last one. 1. We're going to bring that leg back at level with the body. Bending through the knee, flexing through the foot. We're going for 8, 7, 6, well done, maybe 5, 4, 3, nice Julie, 2, and 1. Reach, 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 lengthen out through that leg, foot comes back down to the floor, slide the knee underneath and have a sit back into the heels before we work the other side. So coming back up onto the all four position, elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to step that left leg out. So we're reaching with the heel rather than the toe. So nice flex into that foot. Reaching through that heel, we're going to exhale, lift. Squeeze that left glute. Inhale, lower. Exhale it up. Inhale it down. Keeping those hips level. Imagine you've got a spirit level across that lower back. Keep it going. Last 3. Keep the gaze down to the mat. Keep that neck nice and long. 2. And 1. Leg stays up. We're going to rainbow. So coming across, up, and over, out to the side. Trying not to wobble around with the hips. Last 3. 2. And 1. Leg goes up. We're going to bend through that knee. Keep that flex in the ankle. 8. 7. Push the ceiling away with the heel. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Squeeze. Lengthen out through that leg. Foot comes back down to the floor. Slide the knee back underneath. Have a sit back into the heels. And then we're going to twizzle it round on the mat to work the other side of the oblique. So doing that whole sequence again on the other side. Yay! So coming down into one nice long line. Feet in the opposite direction. Head relaxed down onto the arm. Hips are stacked. Cores lifted. We're going to keep those heels squeezed together. Take an inhale breath, exhale, lift and lengthen. So again, think more length than lift. Inhale it back down. Keeping this hand nice and light. Inhale, lower. Exhale it up. Almost try to make that underneath leg longer. So reaching away with that underneath leg. Last 2. Exhale it up. Inhale it down, last 1. Exhale, we're going to stay up on this last one. We're going for 8 top leg raises. 1, 2, 3, 4, nice. 5, 6, 7, and last one, 8. Bring those heels back together and lower it back down onto the floor. Well done. We can bring the head onto the hand now. We can pop those feet behind the bottom. Hips are stacked, cores lifted, going into our clam. So exhale as we open up the hip and inhale as we close. Making sure those hips don't wobble around. Lovely. 4 more of these. Exhale, squeeze. Really make sure you can open that hip as high as we can without moving the hips. Last 2. And last 1. Exhale it up and inhale it down. Feet come up from the mat now. So elevated clam. Same thing again. Squeeze. You should be able to open that hip a little bit wider this time. Perfect. Buns of steel after this one. Last 3. Two. And 1. Well done. Bring those knees together. Bring the feet down onto the floor. Sorry, open up the hips again. We've got the knee toe taps to do. So we're internally rotating and then toe tapping. So internal rotation of the hip, then external rotation of the hip. Perfect. Last 4. Toe taps. 1, 2, 3, and last one, 4. Well done. Bring the knees together. We're then going to shuffle the knees up so they're level with the hips. 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle there. Core still lifted. We're going for that deadlift. So exhale, like a book opening. Inhale, lower it back down. Keeping that foot same level as the knee. So try to lead with the knee and not the foot. Or don't let that foot fall. Start to feel that burn now. Let's go for 3 more. Exhale it up. Inhale, lower. Last 2. And last one. Holding it up. This one, we're going to 8 circles in this direction. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And opposite direction. Nearly there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, ouch, 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 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring the knee down. Give the bottom a really good rub, pat, punch, whatever you need to do. And then we are coming up onto the elbow and working those inner leg raises. So bringing that top foot towards the floor. Bottom leg out to an angle, again flexing through the foot, shoulders away from the ear, so nice strong triangle between the waist and the mat. Where exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. So going for 8, 7, 6, get those inner thighs working, 5, don't sink into that shoulder, 4, 3, 2, we're going to hold up on this last one and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg down. Well done. Staying up on, no we don't get mermaid now. Sorry, this is a bit of a new routine I've come up with, which I'm sure you're loving. So 90 degrees in the knee if we can, if not, folding the knees to the sides, absolutely fine as well. So floating the arms up, mermaid stretch, we're just going to come in towards the feet first. So just rolling over, feel that nice stretch into the side of the body. And then we're going to bring the hand down, reaching over. Feel that stretch there. And then try and let the hand leave the floor as soon as we can to get the obliques to fire up, to lift us up and over. Perfect. Lovely, Linda. Nice, Kate. You've got a dog to get around there as well. That's 3. So reach as far away as we can and just bring the hand up as soon as we can. Try not to push through the hand. I'm a bit guilty of that. Just to give us a little bit of help. And last one. And reach in over the feet. Feel that lovely stretch into the side of the body. And then we're coming back up onto the elbow again. So we're going to work those oblique twists. So knees just folded to the side, hand salute to the forehead. Level 1, we're down on the hip. And we're going to come down, twisting through the waist, working that oblique chain, then really open up through the chest, keeping that shoulder well away from the ears. Spicing it up into level 2, full side plank. So again, keeping those hips nice and high. Inhale it up, exhale it through. Don't worry too much about the breath there, just don't hold the breath. Last 3. 2. And last one. And open, and then if we're working level 2, gently pop the hips back down onto the floor. Well done. We're then going to come onto our backs. Do a bit of a core blast now. So bottom and everything done for now. So tucking that tailbone under, sinking that back down to the floor. So we've got a nice imprint there. Ribs and hips stay that distance apart. So slide the ribs down towards the hips. We're just going to work that transverse muscle. So we're just going to float one leg up, back down, float the other leg up and back down. Just making sure the spine's not leaving the mat. We maintain that imprint. Nice. One leg then, just gently waking up that core. And then we're going to slide float one leg up and float the other leg up. Feel that transverse corset muscle working. We're then going to work single leg stretch with some variations. So we're just going to lengthen out through the leg out onto about 45 degrees and then back. We can grab hold of the knee. We can lift up through the head and shoulders as well. So if we're lifting up through the head and shoulders, just make sure we've lifted all of the shoulder blade up from the floor. So really using that core to lift those shoulders up and back. Let's go for a couple more on each side. So this is level 1 with the head and shoulders down. Coming back to tabletop, bring those head and shoulders down, hands onto the thigh. We're going to have a little battle between the knee and the hand. So what I want you to do here is push that right knee into the right hand. Really fire up the right hand side, the core there, and inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze the left hand into the knee and release. So just one side then the other. Exhale as we push, inhale as we release. And then we're going to mix those two exercises together. So we're going to work single leg stretch, but with a push. So we're going to push the knee into the hands and really feel that working the core. So really reach with the leg. And just feel that added extra core work as we push that knee into the hand. Let's go for 2 more to each side. And last ones. Exhale as we push. And then bring the head and shoulders down. Hug the knees in. Have a little roll around on the floor. And then going to lengthen the legs towards the ceiling. So reaching both feet up towards the ceiling. Hands behind the thighs, just underneath the knee. And just bending through the knees. And then lengthening through the legs. Ooh, shaking. A nice little stretch there. And then we can start to bring the head and shoulders up as we lengthen the legs up towards the ceiling. And then as we bend through the knees, we're going to bring those head and shoulders down. So we can leave the hands behind the legs if you like, just to give us a little bit of assistance. Making it a bit harder, we're just going to reach forward with the hands as we lengthen those legs up towards the ceiling. So let's go for 4 more. 3. Nice. 2. And last one. Reach with the feet, reach forward with the arms. And 1, and then bring it back down. Have a little knee hug, little roll around. Then we're going to work double leg stretch. So keeping the legs into tabletop position, making sure we're still imprinted. Don't lose the distance between the ribs and the hips. Hands to the outside of the knees. We're going to, as we inhale, we're going to reach the legs up towards the ceiling. Arms come behind the head, and then exhale, the arms round. So that's level 1. Inhaling away, exhale it back. Level 2, head and shoulders come up. Rather than reaching up, we're going to reach out. So the lower the legs are to the floor, the harder you're going to work that core. Just making sure we're not doming in the tummy area. We're going to go for 5 more. Reach, so really focus on that stretch. Lovely, Kate. Last two. Obviously, if you need to rest at any time, do just hug those knees into the chest. And one, hug the knees in, have a little roll around. Whew. And then coming back to tabletop legs, we're going to level one scissors now. So keeping that 90-degree bend behind the knee, dip and back, dip and back. Level two, lengthen out through the legs, scissoring straight legs. Lifting up through the head and shoulders, make it a little bit harder. You can add in the leg pull if you like, feeling that stretch into the back of the leg. And then also you want to make it a little bit harder, reach the arms down, but still try and stretch out through the back of the leg. 4 more. 3. 2. And 1. And release back down to the floor, well done. Little knee hug. In fact, let's pop the feet down. Stretch out through the abdominals, so feet hip width apart. Keeping the hips down on the floor, just roll the knees over to one side. Feel that lovely stretch across the waist. Try to keep the hip down, try not to lift up through that hip. Nice deep breaths, really breathe into the bottom of that rib cage. Feel the stretch across the ribs. And then bringing the knees back through the center, over to the other side. And then coming back to center with the knees, we're going to work our shoulder bridge now. So again, keep that spine imprinted, move the heels a little bit closer to the bottom. Hands down by the side, take an inhale breath as we exhale. We're going to tilt the pelvis, so imprint the spine, sink that spine down, and then peel the spine up. Squeezing those glutes at the top, squeeze the hips up towards the ceiling. Keep that tailbone tucked under there. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, we're going to float the arms over. Inhale, breath here, and then exhale as we bring everything back down and over. Arms come back over, placing the spine back down. Nice. Let's go again. Inhale, breath. Exhale, pelvic tilt. Peel it up. Squeeze those hips up nice and high. Squeeze the glutes there. Inhale, breath, exhale, float the arms over. Take an inhale breath here, exhale it down, lengthening the spine along the mat as the spine comes down. Feels really nice on the back, this one, I think. Oops, I've got to bring my arms over. Inhale breath, let's go again, exhale it up. We're going to stay up in bridge. Keep the arms on the floor for this one. Squeeze those hips up towards the ceiling. Level one, we're going to heel raise that right heel, but keeping the hips nice and high, so don't dip through the hip. Level two, we're going to float the leg up into tabletop and then back down. Keeping that weight through that left heel. We're going to go for 4, 3, 2, so it's a heel raise or a leg raise. On the last one, keep those hips nice and high. 1, bring the heel back underneath the knee, take an inhale breath as we exhale, slowly place the spine back down. Let's go again with the other side. So keeping the arms on the floor, inhale breath, exhale, sink that lower back down and then start to peel the spine up. Keeping that tailbone tucked under. So really squeezing the glutes there. So level one, left heel comes up and down. Level two, we're going to float up into tabletop and back down. Last 4. 3, 2, and last one, floating up. And then bring that heel back underneath the knee. We're going to stay up in bridge. We're going to float the arms over. We're going to leave the arms behind the head. Elbows nice and soft. Inhale breath. We're going to really lengthen the spine down along the mat. Got a nice release as the spine comes down. Well done. And then we're going to take it out into a full body stretch and roll it up into seated. For those of you that need to use the elbow for a bit of assistance, if you just bend through one of the legs, popping the hands underneath behind the knee, just to help assist you with the roll up. Take an inhale breath. As we exhale, still bring the chin towards the chest and just push the leg into the hands. See if that can help you coming up into seated position. Just an idea. But don't worry if you can't do it, just use your elbows, it's fine. We're going to sit nice and tall at the top. Inhale breath. As we exhale, we're going to come down into spine stretch. So forwards with the upper body, backwards with the waist, reaching forward with those arms. Get a really nice stretch across the spine, down the spine. And then we're going to lengthen back up through the spine, crown of the head towards the ceiling, arms out level. Inhale breath, exhale, little pelvic tilt, and slowly start to place the spine back down onto the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Bring those arms behind the head. Deep breath in, exhale, bring the arms back up towards the ceiling. If you want to try that leg bit again, just bring that thigh up just to give you a little bit of assistance. Take an inhale breath. As we exhale this time, chin comes towards the chest. Start to peel the spine up. And then sit it nice and tall at the top. This time we're forward folding, so we're just going to reach for the feet, put a nice little flex into the ankle there, feel that pull down the back of the legs. A couple of nice deep breaths. And then we're going to come back down again. So arms level with the shoulders. Inhale breath, exhale, pelvic tilt. Slowly place that spine down onto the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Taking it out into a full body stretch at the bottom. Nice inhale breath. And then release. Bringing the arms down to the side, so level with the shoulders, palms facing up towards the ceiling. We're going to work a little bit of rotation now. So feet come up onto the floor, find that neutral, so tuck the tailbone under, engage through those abdominals as we float one leg at a time, back up into tabletop position. Zipping knees and feet together. We're going to work spine twists now, so shoulder blades stay down as we inhale down to the side. Just lifting up through that hip, getting that lovely rotation into the lower spine, and then exhale as we come back through the center and down to the other side. Nice stretch across the waist as well there. So if you want to work a little bit harder, we can lengthen out through one leg as we come down to the opposite side. Or if you want to work harder again, lengthen out through both. Keep it going, just rolling that weight over. I love this exercise, it's nice. Make sure those shoulder blades don't leave the floor. Lovely, Abby. Let's go for one more to each side. Okay. Kate's now off the mat and the dog's fully on it. Well, he needs to be comfortable. Come back to center, bring the feet down, and then we're going to work on our rolling back exercise. So we're going to work level 1, which is actually probably harder than level 2 and 3. So hands down by the side. Keep that imprint as we bring the legs up into tabletop. We're then going to lengthen the legs, but keeping the knees really nice and soft. Crossing one foot over the other, we're going to bring the knees towards the chest, pushing into the hands as we try and lift the hips up from the floor. So it's basically like a reverse roll up and then slowly place them down. So basically we're just trying to control all the time, keeping those abdominals nice and short. That's it. So with this one, you don't really get any rest. If we can, and if you want to, you can take it into full rolling back. So we're going to bring the feet and the legs up and over and add in that lovely spine stretch and lovely stretch down the back of the legs. And then slowly place the spine down. If you like that exercise but can't get up there from this position, you can come up into seated and add in a little bit of momentum. So we're going to roll it back. You can support the bottom there as well if you like, just to feel that lovely stretch, and then slowly bring the spine down. So you can do lots of things with this exercise. You can also add in a double leg layer at the bottom, so we're really working that core a little bit harder. Nice, lovely. And lower it down. Let's go for 2 more. But with the level 1, when we're preparing to go over, you don't get that nice stretch, unfortunately. It's all ab work. And last one. And slowly bring that spine down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice, well done. We're then going to flip round onto our fronts. We're going to work glutes again, my favourite. So we're going to bring the feet out. This is a nice exercise for the hip, actually. I'll just do a little bit of rotation, internal and external. So bring the feet out wide, so almost like the corners of the mat. We're just going to roll the heels out and then roll the heels in. So just internally and externally rotating the legs in and out. Feels nice in the hip. And then we're going to allow the heels to come in, not to join the heels, but point the heels towards each other. So we're externally rotating. Bringing the head down onto the hands, engaging through the core, pushing that pubic bone down. We're going to leg raise. So we're going to take an inhale breath and exhale, float the legs up, squeezing the glutes, keeping the heels facing each other. Inhale as we lower it back down. Exhale, float them up, keeping the legs as straight as we can, still externally rotating them, so the knees are pointing out to the side. Lift, squeeze, inhale, lower. Let's go for 4 more. Inhale it down. 3, squeeze. 2. And you can carry on doing this, level 1, level 2, we're going to stay up and we're going to try and tap the heels together. My heels don't join, unfortunately. We're going to just tap, 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 tap. Another 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to stay up, we're going to bend through the knee. Bring the heels together, flexing through the foot, squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. God, you're all going to be cursing me tomorrow. Last 4, 3, keeping that pubic bone pressed down, 2, and 1. Bring the knees down, bring the feet down. Right, that's definitely all glute work done now. We're going to work shoulders. So bringing the hands to underneath the forehead, scooping that tummy button up, pushing that pubic bone down. Inhale, breath as we exhale. We're going to float the head and shoulders and elbows up, and then inhale as we come back down. So nice and gently waking up the upper spine, exhaling up, and inhale down. On this next one, we're going to hold it up at the top. Level 1, hands stay underneath the forehead. Level 2, lengthen the arms out in front and hold. They don't need to be into dive position. If it's more comfortable in a V shape for you, that's absolutely fine. We'll just increase that lever length, making those shoulders work a bit harder. And then bring the hands back underneath the forehead and inhale it back down to the floor. Let's go up again. Inhale, breath, exhale, hover. Keeping that core lifted. This time, arms are going to come out level with the shoulders. So really lengthen through the arms, adding in some very small circles for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come back underneath the forehead and coming back down to the floor. This is a great exercise. People that have got desk jobs, sat in flexion all day long. Let's go up again. Exhale, breath. Lift, hover, lengthen through that upper spine. Coming back out level with the shoulders if you're taking it to level 2. And circle the arms in the opposite direction. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands come back underneath the forehead and then back down to the floor. Last one. Inhale, breath. Exhale it up. Working that posterior chain. Hover. And then arms out in front or V shape if that's more comfortable for you. We're holding it for 4 breaths. 3, 2, 1. Hands come back and release down to the mat. Well done. Let's have a good stretch now. Sorry, I've overrun a little bit. So pushing up onto all fours. We're going to work a thread the needle stretch first. Just a nice stretch into the shoulders. So lifting right hand up from the mat, feeding the right hand through, dropping that shoulder all the way down to the floor, bringing the head down to the floor as well. Got a nice stretch into the shoulder, rotating through that thoracic spine. And then pushing it back up and back underneath the shoulder. Same on the other side. So slide the hand through, drop that shoulder down, relax the head down. And coming back, center. We're going to come down onto our bottoms, just do a little seated stretch, really nice stretch. So we're going to bring one foot to the inside of the thigh. We're going to slide the hand down, outside the hand, the inside of the leg. Bring the hand to our salute position again. And then we're just going to really push into the leg with the outside of that hand as we open up through the chest, looking up towards the ceiling. Take some nice deep breaths. You can slide the hand a little bit further down if you like. And release. Same on the other side. So just reverse. Inside of the legs, outside of the hand, up into our salute, and then use that hand outside of the hand there just to push us around into that rotation. Keep the gaze up towards the ceiling, keep that chest open. And release. Coming up into a standing kneeling again. Sorry, I'm having to rush through the stretches, which is a nice bit, sorry. But you've worked really hard. So we're going to take one step in front, stretch out those hip flexors now. So all I want you to do here is a really big tuck underneath of that tailbone. So you should instantly feel that stretch down the leg from the hip down towards the knee. We're then going to float the arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale as you bring the arms back down. And this is the only time I'll ever tell you to do this, but then we're going to slouch into that stretch. And you should feel it a little bit deeper into those hip flexors. And release. Same on the other side. Knee underneath hip. Bring that foot forwards. Again, really tuck. We're going to stay tucked all the way through the stretch. So float the arms up, keeping that tuck under, and then exhale as we come down. Allow the arms to relax down to the sides, and then slouch. Can't believe I'm telling you to slouch. And release, well done. 4-point kneeling, nearly done. Cat-cow stretch, so take an inhale breath, elbows nice and soft. Chin comes towards the chest as we really push up into the spine. Really breathe into the back of the rib, back of the lungs, get a rib cage stretch, and then we're coming down. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Let's do one more of each. So really pushing up into the spine, draw that tummy button up, and then lower it back down. Squeeze the shoulder blades, stick out the bottom, and then back to neutral. Toes underneath. Inhale, breath. As we exhale, we're going to push up off the knees, push those heels back into the floor, bring the head through the arms, really straighten out through the legs there. If you want to have a little pedal, easing the heels down into the floor. Sorry, I know if you've got to go, I won't be offended. Just lost track of time. And then pushing both heels down and back. We can soften through the knees, but if you want to, try to keep the knees as straight as we can as we walk the hands back towards the feet. Transfer that weight back to the feet again. Relax and flop through the head and arms. Take a deep inhale breath as we prepare. Exhale. Scoot the tummy button up. Lift it through that pelvic floor as we roll the spine. Back up. And back out, rolling up nice and slowly, and then reaching the top. Make sure you do some big shoulder rolls, just pop those shoulders back